This is my capstone video reflection. My name is Joanne Ingram, and I am an instructional technology specialist candidate from Kennesaw State University. I'm currently a fourth grade teacher at Clark Creek STEM Academy in Ackworth, Georgia. It is a STEM academy in Cherokee County School District. I am working on my specialist degree in instructional technology at Kennesaw State University. When I began working on this capstone project, I was a second grade teacher at Clark Creek STEM Academy. At Clark Creek STEM Academy, our teachers have not fully embraced all that Canvas has to offer. Many teachers in my school are reluctant to try using Canvas for more than just a web page or as a gradebook or even as a landing page for parents to find out classroom information. Our middle and high school teachers have used Canvas in their classrooms successfully for the last couple of years, and I believe that the success of the implementation is because that middle school and high school students not only are more independent with using technology on their own, but high school curriculum also lends itself to a learning management system type of experience. At my school, part of the reason why our teachers have not used Canvas to its potential is our limited amount of time that we have available for our instructional planning. Our teachers are very accustomed to using what they have always used before. It's a system that is already in place, and in a school where we are constantly pushing the envelope and learning new things with as many things as we have on our plate, we try to stick with what we know and what we feel comfortable with as often as we can because we are trying to incorporate so many new things at a time. The idea of creating Canvas modules is a daunting task to teachers in the school. And there's also a concern about how younger students are going to be able to access and navigate these modules just because of the inexperience they have with this type of program. This capstone project will be implementing Canvas to flip classroom instruction. By using Canvas to flip the classroom, teachers will see the many advantages of Canvas and how it can be implemented into what they already have in place with ease. This capstone focused on using Canvas LMS to help teachers flip their classroom instruction. Using Canvas LMS to create modules to provide instruction helps to promote our STEM focus of our school. It was my goal to help teachers by showing them through example how the flipped classroom impacts students and also how it helps them to learn how to use the modules in Canvas to create their own meaningful flipped instruction. The project took place over a period of 5 months that began in January of 2020 and ended in May of 2020. Survey creation began a month before the project began with participating teachers. Activities to take place during the project included a pre-project survey, Canvas training and support, flipped classroom training and support, flipped classroom module implementation, post-implementation reflection, and a post-project survey. Two of the activities that I planned for my teachers, the first one was for them to participate in a workshop-style professional development centered around creating Canvas modules. And the teachers who participated in the original project would be to continue to use the Canvas LMS to flip classroom instruction. For my first project item, my objective was to have 100% of teacher participants at Clark Creek Elementary to create one Canvas module to deliver flipped classroom instruction by the end of April of 2020. And the deliverables that would demonstrate that would be my teacher attitude surveys for before and after the implementation of the capstone project and by the actual modules that the teachers created. For my second activity, my goal was for 80% of teacher participants at Clark Creek to use Canvas LMS to create flipped modules to deliver instruction a minimum of 2 or more times as measured by teacher surveys by March 28th, 2020. And that would be measured by the modules that the teachers created. My evaluation plan. To determine the success of this project, I'll first need to know how the teachers are currently using Canvas in their classrooms. This will be done by giving surveys to teachers who are participating in the Capstone project. The survey will ask participants how they're using Canvas LMS, the frequency of their use, and is the use student-centered or teacher-standard, and what is the teacher attitude toward using Canvas LMS. After implementing the Capstone project, I'll then re-administer the survey and ask the same questions as in the pre-project survey. However, on the post-project survey, there'll be an additional survey questions asking participants how they plan on using Canvas LMS in the future and how their opinion or attitude of Canvas LMS has changed since the beginning of the project. Comparing the pre-project and post-project surveys will give me a clear picture of the success of the project. Teacher attitude changes and increased Canvas usage can be tracked using the surveys. By seeing that teachers are using Canvas LMS to deliver instruction more frequently, I will know the project has been successful. Using Canvas to flip classroom instruction will help teachers in my school maximize their time to work with students in small groups and therefore increase student achievement. This would be the start of implementing blended learning style instruction throughout the school. Teachers will be given a rubric before beginning their module creation so that they can effectively use the Canvas LMS platform in their instruction. After the module is completed, but before they implement the module, I'll meet with teachers again to go back over the rubric with the module and see how they're meeting the requirements. Teachers who continue to flip classroom instruction with additional modules will use the model rubric again as they create additional modules. Once again, I'll meet with those teachers to review their module with the rubric before implementation. Description of my capstone experience and the results. The different parts of my capstone included the survey creation to determine interest. Then I conducted an interest workshop. I delivered my first Canvas module workshop. Then I delivered a flipped lesson in Canvas workshop. Then I created and delivered another Canvas module workshop. And then finally, what happened due to school closures due to COVID-19. My workshops. My first module workshop was to work with teachers to create thematic units within the modules in Canvas. Most of the teachers I was working with already knew how to create Canvas assignments and modules. We spent the afternoon making modules flow from one activity to another. We started working to create an entire unit in Canvas. 3 of the participants wanted additional time to work, so we scheduled a time to work together on another day. The second workshop was on flipped classroom. In this workshop, I worked with teachers on what a flipped classroom is and what it looks like. Many of the teachers in the workshop were unfamiliar with the term. I created a presentation of what a flipped classroom is, and then I showed them how we could use the tools in Canvas to flip classroom activities. The teachers were excited about the chance to record themselves teaching a lesson so they would have more time to work with small groups and individual students. We worked with Canvas Studio to create the video lessons. I wanted all teachers to have an outline for a recorded lesson when they left the workshop. The last Canvas module workshop was spent creating modules and assignments in Canvas and getting them to flow from one activity to another. For this workshop, we worked with putting the recorded lessons from Canvas Studio into the modules for the flipped classroom activities. I didn't show them anything new for this workshop. Instead, we focused on just finishing the modules we had started and adding the video lessons and other final touches. School closures due to COVID-19. So COVID-19 threw a very large kink in my plans for this capstone project. At first, I thought it would put a pause in my plans. But after one day, I realized that digital learning from home was exactly what my capstone was designed to help teachers with. The teachers I worked with in early workshops were well prepared to implement distance learning. I held weekly Teams meetings with those teachers who were participating in the project, and we discussed any successes and issues that we had in the week. One of the very first things that we worked on was sharing modules and assignments with each other and helping the people who were participating to share their modules and assignments with others in their grade level, because we learned very quickly that working together was the best way to maximize our time. Results. The teachers using Canvas on a more regular basis increased. All the participants were using the LMS on a more regular weekly basis than they had before the project. On the survey, participants rated themselves on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being they never used it, 2 being they sometimes used it, like 1 or 2 times a month, 3 they occasionally used it, between 3 and 4 times a month, 4 they frequently used it, 1 to 3 days a week, and 5 they always use it 4 to 5 days a week, almost daily. And you can see on the graph, blue shows the teacher usage before we began the project, and orange shows teacher usage after we worked on the project. I also found that all participants in the project continued to use Canvas to create modules to use with students after the project had ended. I surveyed them after the new school year began in September of 2020. Again, participants rated themselves on a scale of 1 to 5. 1, that currently they never use it. 2, they sometimes use it currently 1 to 2 times a month. 3, they occasionally use it currently 3 to 4 times a month. 4, they frequently use it currently 1 to 3 days per week. And 5, they're always using it 4 to 5 days a week. And you can see looking on the graph that it was an even split. 9 teachers said they're frequently using it 1 to 3 days a week, and 9 teachers said that they're using it practically every day. So this project was a success in that all participants in the project are now using Canvas to create modules and flip their classroom instruction with their students, even after the digital learning days of the spring, and now we're back to a more traditional face-to-face classroom experience. I also found that with the increase of the available time that teachers had to work with their small groups, all the teachers showed on average an increase of achievement in reading. The teachers are asked to compare their average unit post-test scores from Unit 3, which was taught using traditional methods, and Unit 4, which was taught using the flipped classroom model. And the average score on the reading unit post-test was rated on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 would indicate a score of 0 to 20%. 2 would indicate an average score of 21 to 40%. 3 would indicate an average score of 41 to 60%. 4 would indicate an average score of 61 to 80%. And 5 would indicate an average score of 81 to 100%. And you can see on the graph, the blue shows before and the orange shows after. And all classrooms' overall averages of their post-test scores went up after the implementation of the flipped classroom model. This was also occurring during the COVID-19 school closures. So that, to me, I did not anticipate seeing scores increase on that post-test with the COVID-19 school closures. So I was surprised at the results of the flipped classroom model on the reading achievement. These are the copyright acknowledgments for all of the references I used while researching and learning about not only Canvas learning management system usage in classrooms, but all learning management systems usage in classrooms.